And tonight, some Republican senators calling for a joint select committee to further investigate Benghazi. Senator Lindsey Graham is one of those. He joins us. Senator, before we get to a joint committee, a joint select committee, I'm curious, did you see the president's press conference saying which he was asked about Benghazi, and were you satisfied with his answers?
It was disgusting. I can't believe the...
I guess you didn't like them then.
Well, no. I mean, spin me once, shame on you. Spin me twice, shame on me. Does the President of the United States really believe that the American people are going to buy the story he told today, that he called Benghazi a terrorist attack from the get-go? His administration, for weeks after the attack, tried to convince the American people there was no al-Qaeda involvement. This was a spontaneous riot caused by a hateful video generated in the United States, and there was no pre-planned terrorist attack. We're not stupid in America, and we're going to keep pushing.
Why do you think that happened? I mean, you've got the 12 revisions that were another news organization,
yeah.
ABC, hit them with.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Then you have what he said today is that he called it terrorism. And we've all got the record. On September 12th, what he said to Steve Cross, 6 days later to Letterman, 2 days after that to Univision, and then we have one more 4 days later to The View. The next day he's before the UN. I mean, we got the whole. Why does he keep saying that?
Because it worked. 7 weeks before the election, he was able to basically intimidate the Romney campaign. The mainstream media, thank God for Fox and CBS and a few other outlets, basically have allowed 8 months to go by where he gets away with it.
But now he's got the New York Times who's talking about it. Maureen Dowd skewed him a little bit about it yesterday.
Why?
Yeah.
Because people like us have been pushing.
Well, okay.
And
so
Greg Hicks came forward.
All right. Well, those who all those news organizations could take their bow for whatever they did do or didn't do. But now we're at a point where the president.
Because of the whistleblowers.
Okay. All right. We're now at that point. So why is what I don't get is why the president is still taking the position today.
He believes that he can keep denying the obvious and it will work. Well, it's caught up with him. The fact of the matter is this administration manipulated the evidence that was abundant about a terrorist attack. If you put in one column all the evidence of a pre-planned terrorist attack involving al-Qaeda and the evidence that says this was a spontaneous event caused by video, it's not even close. There's really no evidence to suggest what Susan Rice said, and the president himself said it for 2 weeks. This is 7 weeks before an election. They did not want to destroy the narrative that bin Laden said we're all safer.
All right. Well, now we are 8 months later. We've got the 12. We've got ABC with the email saying 12 revisions. We've got the other record, and now you've been asking for a joint
select committee.
A select committee. You've been asking for it. Do you have any sense that the leadership, which is you have a Democratic majority in your House and the Senate, do you have any indication Senator Harry Reid would go along with that?
Well, no. Harry Reid's not. It's been so disappointing to see my Democratic colleagues who are all about getting to the bottom of Bush failures. You know, when Abu Ghraib came up, I said this is not a few MPs. This is system failure. When people said in the Bush administration, Iraq's just a few dead enders, things are going well. Well, they weren't. We didn't have the right strategy. Benghazi's a failed foreign policy strategy. I wish and pray and hope that one Democrat would take what happened in Benghazi as seriously as the IRS. John Thune deserves a lot of credit. He was on this before anybody else about the IRS targeting conservative groups. Now we're going to have a hearing and everybody's outraged. What about 4 people killed by al-Qaeda-backed terrorists 8 months ago, and our government lied about what happened to them? What about the death trap that was created called Benghazi Consulate? What about the 7.5 hours they were being attacked and nobody could come to their aid? Where's the outrage there? The American people deserve answers, and our president has been misleading. He's been manipulating the evidence, and people under him have done the country a great service. Those in harm's way feel very let down, and we're not going to stop.
Congressman Mike Rogers says that he has other whistleblowers.
Yeah, so do I.
You have other whistleblowers?
Absolutely.
What do those whistleblowers say that's different from what we've heard from Greg Hicks?
Well, they're going to, I'll let them speak for themselves, but I'm tired of whistleblowers. It's 8 months since the attack, and not one survivor has been allowed to come forward on their own without fear of losing their job. It is now time for the Congress to tell this administration we have an independent duty, not the Accountability Review Board appointed by Secretary Clinton. The Congress has an independent duty. We should call every survivor before the Congress, protecting their identity if necessary, to get to the bottom of this. I can't believe after 8 months the American people have not heard from one survivor other than a whistleblower.
Senator, thank you, sir.
Thank you.